Good morning, students. Welcome to the class again. We were discussing rearrangement reactions. Now we will see Wolff rearrangement. What is Wolff rearrangement? The rearrangement of alpha diazoketones leading to carboxylic acid derivatives via ketenes. These are called alpha diazoketones. Alpha diazoketones. This can be represented like this. We will have positive charge on this nitrogen and negative charge on this nitrogen. When it is heated, the negative charge will be polarized towards carbonyl. So carbonyl double bond will break. We have a double bond here, a negative charge, of course positive charge on nitrogen. Then when it polarizes back, what will happen? We don't have any other possibilities here. Here, this alkyl group will undergo migration to this because we have a good leaving group here. So nitrogen is a good leaving group. So this alkyl group will migrate. So we are generating a ketene. We are generating a ketene. This is ketene. So ketene, when it is treated with water, it gets carboxylic acid. We can use alcohol to generate esters. We can use amine to generate amides. So I'll discuss it also. Now, alpha diazoketones, not only under thermal conditions, we can also treat this with reagents and photochemical conditions. When we treat this with under photochemical conditions and reagents, what will happen? It generates a carbene. It generates a carbene. This is a carbene. Now carbene will undergo rearrangement. Carbene will undergo rearrangement to ketene. I'll show you how. Carbene, when electrons are polarized towards carbonyl, carbonyl bond will break down, then again will polarize back to generate the C double bond O. Now this alkyl group will shift to this carbon. So we are generating ketene. So this alpha ketones, either under thermal conditions or photochemical conditions, they will be converted to ketene. From ketene, they will be converted to carboxylic acid derivatives like esters, amides, carboxylic acids. So when alpha diazoketone, which can also be represented like this, is converted to ketene, of course it is ring contraction. Then this ketene can be explored in different ways. When we use when we use water, carbonyl carbon is the electropositive system. So when we use water, this oxygen with lone pairs will attack on carbonyl carbon, ketene carbon. Then polarization of this double bond occurs. Again, it will back polarize. Now this double bond will polarize to generate a carbanion here. That carbanion finally takes a proton so that it becomes carboxylic acid. So this is from water. Similarly, we can also explore this using an alcohol. When we use an alcohol, what we get? We get an ester. We get an ester. So this is carboxylic acid. This is an ester. Similarly, when we use an amine, if we use simple ammonia, what we will get is amide. What we get an amide. We can also use some alkyl amines, monosubstituted alkyl amines or disubstituted. Okay. Then also what we get substitute N alkyl amides. We will get N alkyl amides. So this is also amide. This is how we can explore ketenes further. Under thermal conditions, or we can also use reagents for Wolff rearrangement. Under thermal conditions and when we use reagents, it is a concerted mechanism. It is a concerted reaction. That means all these rearrangements will occur simultaneously in a single step. But when we use photochemical conditions, under photochemical conditions, it is not a concerted mechanism. It will generate a carbene intermediate, then that carbene intermediate will further undergo rearrangements. Okay, so under thermal conditions or when we use reagents, it is a concerted mechanism. Under photochemical conditions, it generates a carbene intermediate, then that intermediate will further undergo rearrangements. What are the different reagents that we can use for Wolff rearrangement? We can use copper sulfate, copper acetate, rhodium acetate, silver nitrate, some silver reagents. So similar to this, okay, not only this, similar to these reagents, we can apply in Wolff rearrangements. I'll give you two examples for this. When it is treated with copper sulfate in methanol, it will undergo Wolff rearrangement. Because it is a cyclic system, we will have ring contraction. So instead of 5-membered ring, we will have 4-membered ring. Then since it is a methanol, it will be an ester. It will be an ester. Similarly, under photochemical conditions, of course, with reagents or thermal conditions, it is a concerted mechanism. But under photochemical conditions, first a carbene intermediate will be generated that will undergo subsequent rearrangements. But the final product is same, right? Because it is a cyclic system, we will have ring contraction. We have 2 carbons here. So after rearrangement, we will have only 1 carbon. Because it is methanol, what we will have an ester. Not only ring contraction, we can also have 1 carbon homologation. That means extension of 1 more carbon in Wolff rearrangement. It is possible when we treat an acid halide with diazomethane under basic conditions. So that will generate alpha diazoketone. Then we can treat this with a reagent or thermal conditions. Generally, we treat it with a reagent. So we will have one carbon homologation CH2. We have only one carbon here. So after that, we will have one more carbon. Since it is ethanol, we will get an ester, OET. Okay, it is just one carbon homologation. I'll tell you how. Diazomethane CH2 minus N2 plus. So this nucleophile can easily attack an acid chloride, so that chloride will be leaving. Then base will pick up a proton from this carbon because it is stabilized by carbonyl group. Now after treating with reagent, it will undergo rearrangement to generate the ketene. So negative charge will be polarized towards the carbonyl. Carbonyl double bond will break down first, and in the second instance it will form again. Then this alkyl migration leads to ketene generation. So we are generating a ketene. That ketene, when it is treated with ethanol, of course it is in a ethanol solvent only, so it will generate the ethyl ester. So what we can say here, it is one carbon homologation. In case of cyclic systems, it is ring contraction. Not only ring contraction, we can also have one carbon homologation when we start with acid chlorides. I'll give some more examples for one carbon homologation. When this acid chloride is treated with the triethylamine and diazomethane, again it generates an alpha diazoketone. So that alpha diazoketone, when treated with a reagent, it will generate a ketene. Ketene on treatment with, of course, it is solvent. On treatment with ethanol, it converts. Yeah, here it is not the solvent. Dioxide is the solvent. So what we will get? We will get an ester CH3 CH2 one carbon homologation. So if we use an alcohol, we will get ester. If we don't use alcohol, finally we will add water to quench the reaction. So we will get acid. Yeah, please take notes. What is the product here? Alpha diazo ketones can also be generated in this fashion. When carbonyl is treated with sodium methoxide and ethyl formate, ethyl formate is used for alpha formylation. That means sodium methoxide will generate negative charge on alpha carbon. Then that generated negative charge can attack on carbonyl carbon. So carbonyl bond is the first one to polarize to break the double bond. Then again it will form OET will be used. So what we are getting? We are getting aldehyde alpha to carbonyl. We are getting aldehyde alpha to carbonyl. Under excess basic conditions, we can also generate a negative charge here, right? Under excess basic conditions, because it is stabilized by both carbonyls. Then it is treated with paratoluene sulfonyl azide, paratoluene sulfonyl azide, N3, N3. So that I'll write clearly. It is, in short, we can call it as tosyl azide. This is negatively charged, this is positively charged. Now this negative charge will attack on positively charged nitrogen. So this negative charge will attack on positively charged nitrogen, so that the double bond will be polarized towards nitrogen. Okay. So what we will have is here we have an aldehyde and here N minus and of course N minus tosyl. Now this N minus, okay, I should write like this. This N minus will attack on carbonyl, so that C double bond O is the first one to polarize. And again it will form. Then this carbon carbonyl bond will break down and it will polarize towards nitrogen, so that it generates diazo compound. Of course, this nitrogen nitrogen bond will break down now. I think I'll again tell you how it is generating. The negative charge on nitrogen will attack on aldehydic carbon. Of course, whenever there is an addition to C double bond O, C double bond O will immediately break. Then again it will form. So then this carbon carbonyl bond will break down and it will polarize towards azide. Okay. Then this nitrogen nitrogen bond will break down. So what we are getting? We are getting alpha diazo system. So what we are getting? We are getting double bond N, double bond N. We are getting, yeah, I'm missing this positive charge here. We are getting alpha diazo compound. So this is how we can generate alpha diazo compounds from carbonyls by treating with sodium methoxide, ethyl formate, followed by tosyl hydrogen.